What if I told you that trying to sell first is actually hurting your business? Most entrepreneurs get this wrong. I did too. But when I shifted to serving first, everything changed. The truth is, building real relationships and serving well is not only more rewarding, it's also much more effective for long-term growth. In fact, businesses that focus on serving their current clients often see more referrals and lasting loyalty, which pays off far beyond the first sale. In this video, I'll share the moment I realized my approach was backwards and how a simple shift from selling to pre-selling, rooted in the principle of "let your light shine" from Matthew 5:16, made all the difference. Back when I launched my business, my entire approach revolved around closing the deal. I believed that if I could perfect my script and highlight every possible benefit, I'd win clients over. I'd hop on calls, eager to impress, and if someone seemed even a little interested, I'd push hard for the sale. At first, it seemed to work. I was landing new clients. But soon I noticed a troubling pattern. Most of those clients never came back. I'd pour energy into chasing new leads, but my existing clients slipped away quietly. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was treating people like transactions instead of building real relationships. It wasn't just a feeling. There's research showing that acquiring a prospect can cost up to 24 times more than retaining one. Yet I kept spending my time and money on outreach, ignoring the people I already had. The cycle was exhausting and my business growth stalled. One moment stands out. After a call with a client who'd seemed enthusiastic, I got an email saying she'd decided not to continue. She didn't mention the price or the product. She said she didn't feel seen or understood. That hit hard. I started reading more about what actually drives business growth, and I found something interesting. 92% of buyers trust referrals from people they know. If my clients didn't feel served, they'd never refer me, no matter how polished my pitch was. That was my turning point. I realized I needed to stop focusing on the sale and start focusing on the person. I looked at my process and saw all the places where I was rushing to close instead of building trust. The research was clear. Businesses that prioritize service and relationships create loyal clients who come back and bring others with them. It's not just about delivering a product, it's about creating a full experience that makes people want to stay. So I started making small changes. I reached out to clients just to check in, offered help without expecting anything in return, and paid attention to their needs before talking about money. It wasn't an overnight fix, but things started to shift. Clients began to stick around longer, and I noticed they were more likely to refer others. That's when I knew serving first was more than a nice idea. It was a real strategy. But what does it actually look like to serve before you earn? Let's break down the steps I took to put this into action. Preselling, at its core, is about making service your opening move. I started using a simple approach. First, offer something genuinely useful without expecting anything in return. Next, listen closely to what people actually need. No scripts, just attention. Finally, help solve one real problem before you ever mention your bigger offer. Most entrepreneurs rush to the pitch, but it's the groundwork of service that sets you apart. A lot of Christian business owners fall into one of two traps. They either avoid talking about money, hoping their value will be obvious, or they lead with pricing, as if that's the main draw. I've tried both, and neither builds lasting trust. Research shows it takes several positive interactions before someone is ready to buy. That's where pre-selling shines. It creates those touch points naturally, through real help and honest connection. Let me give you an example. Last year at a conference, I met someone struggling with email marketing. Instead of pushing my services, I asked questions and offered a template that had worked for me. No sales talk, just practical help. 2 weeks later, she reached out and booked a consulting package. That's reciprocity in business, the principle that when you give first, people want to give back. Studies back this up. 78% of companies with formal referral programs see 86% more revenue growth. When you serve first, You plant the seeds for referrals and repeat business. I've also seen this play out with free resources. When I started sharing tutorials on YouTube showing exactly how I built my email list, people who watched those videos were more likely to trust me and eventually enroll in my paid course. McKinsey found that delight can boost referral intent by up to 28 points. That's the impact of showing your light through service. People remember how you helped them, and they want to share that experience with others. Pre-selling isn't just a strategy, it's a way to let your light shine in business. When you choose service over sales, you create space for deeper relationships and real growth. It's a shift that doesn't just change your numbers, it changes your purpose. Instead of focusing on making another pitch, try replacing it with a single act of service this week. Offer free advice, share a helpful resource, or answer one customer question without expecting anything in return. These small actions show care and build trust, which is the foundation of lasting business relationships. It's not just a nice idea. 84% of CEOs begin purchasing with referrals, and companies with formal referral programs see 86% more revenue growth. Serving first isn't just good for your clients, it's good for your business. Start by helping one person without asking for a sale. You might be surprised by the results.